Oh, welcome to the Honest Wargamer 6 till 7 o'clock slot. I'm joined by two wonderful human beings, Mr. Darren Watson and I've done it all wrong, and Mr. Dan Saye. Sorry, I messed up there. I was eating my dinner while I did it. Here we go. We've got another hour of two luscious human beings talking about everything. Dan, how are you? Catch me up with you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready. My soul and body is prepared for what you're going to demand of me today, which is why I pre-batched an entire jug of cocktail because I didn't want to have to delay things. I didn't want to slow us down because I know that there's no brakes on the 1 year Rob hype pain train. I don't know what type of train we're on yet. It's like I got a ticket and I got on, and it could be like one of those fake dwarf chaos pain death trains, or it could be the Polar Express starring Tom Hanks. Who knows? But I'm here and I'm ready for it.
I love having you here. Love you loads. Darren is also here. Thank you, with a new fresh haircut, looking lovely. Darren, how are you?
Yes, I'm very well, love. I was, truth be told, I was complete opposite. I wasn't ready at all. I was too busy watching Luke lose in the Butcher's Buffet tournament to Seraphon. He's getting his ass kicked, I think. I just watched him roll 7 1-2s out of 8 dice to win some salamanders. Which the thing is,
to see it.
It's difficult to watch, but also it's Luke, isn't it? So it's quite fun.
It is. I can imagine.
He's probably dying inside, as we all would, to be fair. So it might be us out of the tournament, but if we're going to lose, then I lost my game against OBR as well, so it's also my fault. But we'll blame it on Luke, right?
Of course. If you guys haven't caught up, the Butcher's Tribe event is a team event being run on TTS, and then Darren's team is doing quite well. But they scraped through round one, actually, truth be told.
We did, yeah.
Scraped through round one to get into round two. Into the semis, and now they're going through. Right, well, also congratulations. Welcome to Fox Art back to the chat, who we raided yesterday.
Woo!
Darren, I know you were a fan of that. Dan, were you there for that?
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was great. Enjoyed that. I joined right at the end when you were doing it.
It was super fun.
That brought so much joy to my heart. I said afterwards, I was like, there are so many times in the wonderful world of War Dollies that we get caught up in something toxic or some kind of drama or whatnot. So every now and then, like when something good happens, embrace it, right? Like we got to jump into the love. That was just that. Honestly, that was like just the most purest, wonderful moment. And I love when everybody's jumping on each other's War Dollies and getting super excited for it. So. Jumping on, like, emotionally and hypothetically, not physically jumping on each other's models. Though I do have a video of me doing that at some point to a Land Raider.
Do you guys follow Superhuman on YouTube?
I do not.
No.
Superhuman is an American fella. Don't really know. He's not he's probably not all of the cutlery that you need for a meal. But he's got
these.
His shtick is he puts something in front of him, be it a table full of bulbs or I don't know, some Lego or something, and then he bounces on a trampoline and then he shouts, "Fuck this shit!"
Oh no, I have seen that.
And then he just jumps on it, and it's amazing.
I think my son made me watch a compilation of it, all the things that he's jumped on.
Yeah,
yeah. Fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit.
Okay, so what you're saying is we need someone to do that for Warhammer, like just on a flaming army of dark elves, basically.
Exactly.
Someone sets fire to their old square-based Warhammer army, and then somebody runs up and just power bombs on top of them.
Like Jaeger, and I'd do it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We promise when everything's back to normal, Superhuman, the Age of Sigmar version is coming at some point. He is a poor kid, though. He's going to be wrecked in future life. Bless him. But he's got T-shirts, so that makes up for it. Right, so... lovely having you both on the show. If you guys haven't been watching today so far, one of the things I've done is we've gone through a bunch of questions that I've asked every host that's been on today, and it's been really nice hearing all their opinions on things. So I'm going to take you through those questions in a bit. But
let's do it.
before that happens, big day yesterday, so I think I'm going to ask you both. Dan first. How did you feel about the reveals yesterday? Was there anything that really stood out to you or something you jonesed on?
Yeah, I think the reveal that was the hardest was realizing I'd rocked up to the shopping center without any pants on. I wasn't ready for that. I think the thing is that I got so far before anyone told me. Like I had to walk 15 minutes to the train, and then it's about another 16 minutes on the train. And it wasn't until I was returning the phone case that I bought that didn't fit my phone that someone was like, "Hey mate, where are your pants?" And I was like, so that was the hardest reveal for me. That's what you were chasing?
That was the hardest reveal for you. What's going on downstairs?
No, I assume that we're talking about the actual War Dolly reveals and not the way I made it onto British Columbia's Most Wanted. I was stoked. I obviously, because I'm over this time zone and I drink, I couldn't be awake for it because that hits the point where the alcohol in my bloodstream puts me down like a grumpy baby. And it was a tough call to pick which was my favorite. But I think, okay, so Soulblight Grave Lords, yay, big mood, yay. However, I am mucho leaning more towards the skeletal warriors and the zombies than the vampires. But I've kind of always dug on that more. Like I've told the story before multiple times. There's I think it's the Undying King book where they talk about this human town in Shaiish that worships Nagash. And when someone dies, they take their body, they remove all the meat, sinews, everything from their bones. They carve sigils into all of the bones and lay them on this stone. And then overnight, their soul returns to the body. And so it's like the first chapter of this book is this sister fighting next to her brother. And it's not until the end of the chapter that you actually find out that her brother has been a skeleton this whole time. And when they're talking, it's mental, like between their heads, not actually. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. So the Soulblight stuff is tickling me hard. I like the Vampire Knights, and press F to pay respects for all those poor people who bought legit Blood Knights over the many years now that we finally have plastic ones.
It's been such a meme. Every time people have talked to I've asked people about it, they're like, how expensive are Blood Knights? And I'm like, yeah, really expensive. Why the fuck did you ever buy them? Like, it's like my first thought. Darren, you got any thoughts about the releases?
I spent yesterday writing narrative blurbs for my Halfling Battle Tome.
The Feastmasters.
The Nomad Feastmasters, yeah. So I completely forgot about the reveal, truth be told. I was in a world of creating worlds, right? And then I had my hair cut, which is a nice metaphor because doing that drives me fucking mad. I hate writing. I hate English. I hated it at school. Why have I chose to do it now? And then, so I missed it all. But I caught up with some of the pictures, and the models are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? They're stunning aesthetic.
Really
I love the zombies with all the like branches like growing through them, and the one that's got his brain revealed, and the Russian writing on the gravestones and all of that. Yeah.
Is the brain revealed one how you felt while writing? Is that what you empathised?
Oh god, just writer's block is the absolute worst. Your brain shuts down and you don't want to do anything. Not even breathe.
And you just start writing the word bees over and over. And you're like, no, that's not what they're about. And you're like, bees, bees.
Go on, Darren. Sorry.
No,
I was just going to shout out HMS Banksy in the chat, who said, I've finished all my DIY for the day, in brackets, revamped my man cave, and now I have to sit with the family, but I'm addicted to watching and I don't want to leave. Thanks, HMS Banksy.
We do on that.
Go on, Darren, what you said.
Family first, it should be.
I'm very excited about reviewing Battle Tome Nomad Feastmasters, I'd like you to know.
Oh, but are you going to rip me apart?
It's a scathing, honest Wargamer review. Who knows?
The scariest part about releasing your own battle tome is that Rob's going to review it. That's the hardest part.
No, not at all. I mean, truth be told, I've never done this before. I'm no rules writer. Like, I'm no game designer.
But truthfully, Darren, who the fuck is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I could be mean, couldn't I? But
I love that everyone was just like, we all had one wound up, but everyone knows what that punch is, and so we were like, yeah, that's okay. It's somewhere there's this punching bag that's just like, let me die, and we're like, yeah, no, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you a pass on that one.
I think as long as someone can play a game with it, then I'll have achieved my goal. Like I just wanted to gain a bit of insight into the process because no one fucking talks about it, do they? It's like it's a guarded secret. And I wanted to gain some insight into, you know, how best to go about getting feedback, you know, because we all criticize play testing and the tomes and how they're written and rules, don't we? Because we're so passionate about it. But none of us have got a fucking clue how it's done. So I wanted to try and gain some sort of insight, and then I'll be able to have an opinion based on a position of strength rather than my best guess, which I don't think is good enough.
Sorry, I got a real backache from this knife that's in it. Let me just take that out.
No, but you've never written a battle tome before.
No, I haven't.
That's not the point. I'm not saying I'm not saying people can't formulate opinions, but I would just like to have a real solid basis for it. And hopefully learn some new skills along the way. I mean, what's improved mostly is my PC skills because they were dog shit to begin with, right? So
I really enjoyed you discovering that you could. Yeah, what did you learn?
I learned that you can press Control H and then you can change, and you can put a word that you want to change into a new word, right? So originally they were called halflings, weren't they? But then I thought I'll change it to Nomad Feastmasters, and I'd written the word halfling about 200 times, and I'd gone and manually changed it each fucking time to Nomad Feastmasters. And then Ian from Just Play, like I think he just mentioned something, you know, frivolously. Oh, you can do this, by the way. And I was like, fuck me, you changed my life. Like,
and if you'd have got to me 6 hours ago, you would have saved me 6 hours.
So just a quick one before we go into the questions. We've just had a live update for intern Matt, love him forever, the angel upon my wing, is the Lumineth book is going on pre-order next week, which does mean Friday night Men Who Read Book, which means next Saturday we will know all of the new Lumineth stuff, which is pretty exciting. So very exciting. You guys got any thoughts on that? Darren, you're collecting them.
So once upon a time, I was hurt badly, and I decided to trust again. And then the Lumineth dual release inside of 6 months has come along, and shame on me. Wait, shame on you if you fool me once. Shame on me if you fool me twice. So I'm doing nothing with this until their next book. That's what I've decided, which, judging by this, should be in roughly 6 months. So in about 6 months' time, I will buy the third Lumineth book, and hopefully then they will be complete. Is this
the Lumineth book? So hold on, we're just discovering. I think Battletome Techless comes out at the same time, or not Battletome Techless, but it's 11 or 12 kits going on pre-order this weekend.
What?
Yeah, all at the same time. Yeah, because they're not stopping. They're like Age of Sigmar 3 this summer, bitch. Yeah, here's everything. They're like, here's the other thing. Like it's now a race against time to get everything out. So pretty
okay.
Pretty important.
So,
we'll break that down more tomorrow, I think, because that'll be fun. So I want to ask these questions. That's what I want to get on with, if that's okay, because time is against us. So I'm going to ask you both. So I've got a bunch of questions to ask you both. I've asked everyone else today. And then some of them are vague, intentionally so. I'll prefix them a little bit. The first one being, what is your highlight of the past year? And it's super vague on purpose, because it doesn't have to be Warhammer related. It can just, whatever percolates to the top. You're like, this is my highlight from the year. 369. It's been a hard time for everyone. Like everyone's had a tough time in different ways. Some people have loved it. Some people haven't loved it. But like we've all must have had a moment, even a cup of tea that you really enjoyed. So if you want to jump in, Darren, you got any thoughts? What your highlight of the year is?
Spending so much time at home. I never thought. So I work on the phones, and I've always had the choice of working at home. But I've always thought I'd be too distracted, too immature. You know, I don't really hold myself in that high a regard, do I? But in actual fact, when I was forced to work from home, I've thrived. I've loved it. I am mature enough to get up and work. I am not distracted, or if I am, it's only a little bit. It actually helps. It keeps me enthused and excited on the phone, and I'm selling more life insurance than I probably ever sold. And it gives me an extra 2 hours a day. I get to spend more time with my doggos. Me and Alex, a lot of couples have really struggled in lockdown, haven't they? And we've thrived. So we've been wonderful. So yeah, just all the extra time at home. If you want to hear a positive COVID story, there's not too much on the gaming front because I've done fuck all. I've written a Nomad tome that no one's going to ever use, and I've painted some Johans on the hobby front. That's about it.
Don't worry, I'm coming back to that. What about you, Dan?
Honestly, from like a War Dolly place, it's kind of been a quieter year for me, but where I've really enjoyed other people's hobby because obviously I moved over here and then a hot minute later COVID hit. And so I was slowly building up, all my tools, I had the full range of paints. I had everything that I love to use, and I'm slowly putting that back together so that I can just grab it and go. So I've been living vicariously through other people's hobby, which is what brings me so much joy at the moment. However, from a personal note, without COVID, I don't think I'd be in as good a place for getting my permanent residency to stay in this wonderful continent, because that was kind of what allowed me to stop and just focus, literally just lose myself in the work that I was doing, and the work was what was getting me the points that you need to get there. So genuinely, as rough as it's been moving all the way to the other side of the world, only for the entire world to shut down and me neither be able to explore, travel, meet, hang out with people, or go home at any point in time, even for a cheeky visit. Love you, brother. My brother's 30th birthday. Totally missed that, but still love you, buddy. But I without all of that garbage going on, I probably wouldn't be where I am, and I probably wouldn't have permanent residency grinding its way through the pipes of the Canadian Immigration Department right now. So I owe a little gratitude of thanks there.
Okay. It's important to be grateful, isn't it, in making the best of shit situations? It sounds like you're actually enjoying where you're living. That's fantastic.
Yeah, but now all I want is for COVID to bugger off and me to get permanent residency so I can start flying down and visiting all of those War Dolly tournaments in America and get to go through like the Canadian immigration line, which is a lot faster, whereas you come through the generic immigration line and they just about like I remember going to the LVO and a guy was like, "What's your purpose in Vegas?" And I was like, as a tourist, like, is that not obvious? Like, do I need to explain this to you? Like, so I'm like, but someone had genuinely told me, like, don't tell them you're here for Warhammer or anything like that. Just say you're here for a convention. And I was like, I'm here for a convention and gambling. And they were like, and what do you intend on doing while you're here? I'm like,
rolling a lot of dice,
gambling and rolling dice. Like, gee, like it was like I was trying to smuggle some kind of snake inside of me.
Why can't you be a wargamer in Vegas?
No, well, they just don't understand it, right? Like, whoever's they're paid to protect the border, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I remember the time when I came for Bobo, and then I was flying home. As I went through Abu Dhabi, and I had my figure case. They obviously put it through the X-ray. The plastic stuff doesn't show up, but there's just all of these tiny dwarven metal shapes, like as it goes through. And then they're like, "So I'm going to need you to step aside." And I was like, "Yeah, I figured that one was coming." So I can only imagine what they thought in Vegas.
That's amazing. All right, sweet. So what is the favorite thing you've painted in the past 369 days? Favorite thing you have painted? Dan, it feels like you're ready for this one.
Oh, I like, as soon as you said that, I was like, this is lame, but it totally is. So for the LVO, I had an Everblaze Comet in my list. And previously, I'd put together an Everblaze Comet that was painted with like eggs on it because the first tournament I played here was over Easter weekend. So I was like, hell yeah. So like every time I cast it, I put a little chocolate egg on it for my opponent to take. And then when I went to Vegas, I made one that had, I painted up a Kinder Surprise because obviously those are illegal in America. Can have an AK-47, can't have a Kinder Surprise, illegal because it's dangerous to the kids. So I was like, what's more terrifying, a gigantic comet of doom or a Kinder Surprise? So it was basically every time I summoned it, I could just imagine all of the Americans fleeing and being like, oh no, the Kinder is coming. So painting up a Kinder Surprise death comet was probably my favorite.
Nice. Darren?
Do you want to hear, just quickly, do you want to hear my Kinder Surprise story?
Absolutely.
The best prank I ever pulled was this. So I used to work for Games Workshop in Games Workshop Portsmouth. I was probably one of the worst staff members you'll ever come across. I got a job when I was 19 to 24, and I just drank a lot during that time. My friend Geordie, he was the manager, and there was a rule: if you had food and you left it overnight in back, it was fair game for everyone. And I came back one time, and he'd eaten all my Kit Kats. And I was fucking livid. So I went out and I got myself a load of Kinder Surprises.
Oh no!
And then I put 3 or 4 out back for him to find and love. You know, because he was really pleased. Whenever he caught me, he was super pleased with what he'd managed to do. So I carefully took out the chocolate, the egg, and I put it in the fridge. There was a little bit of a freezer at the top of it, just to make it really super solid. And I cracked it open, and both halves opened perfectly. And I got the little surprise and the plastic bit, took out the toy and the instructions, but kept a couple of little bit of plastics in, and then chopped off loads of my pubes.
Clip.
Put them inside.
/marker.
Put them inside the little plastic bit. Took the cold covers of the Kinder Surprise, the chocolate. Put them on the palms of my hands so the little bits would warm up, and then carefully placed them back together with the yellow bit inside, and then put it back in the foil that I'd kept in its egg sort of structure, and then left it for him to find. And he found it at the most beautiful time. So he came out front and he was like, "Ha-ha, this is mine. You left it the other day with all your other..." I was like, "Oh, you bastard, I can't believe you've done that." So anyway, he was eating this chocolate and he was loving it. And he was idly playing with the yellow bit of plastic and the toy, but I'd left little bits in there so it still shook. It still sounded like there was a toy in there. And he served this lady. As he served this lady, he was chatting to her, and he opened and pubes went everywhere. And because I was such a terrible staff member, I went, "Surprise, motherfucker!" Oh my God, it was beautiful. The thing is, Kinder Surprise is not much of an actual surprise, is it? You're going to get shit chocolate.
This was a real surprise.
It's a real fucking surprise. Pure everywhere.
I got to agree with Foxart in the chat though, because so Kinder Surprise, one of my all-time favorites. I loved Yowies in Australia. For those who remember Yowies, Yowies represent. They're my all-time favorite. Every Easter I get the big ones. Like I adore them. But you are 100% right. The quality of those toys has gone down. They used to be really cool, and now it's just hot garbage. So Kinder, pull your bootstraps up. You got some work to do. You need to match a bag full of hair now.
Like MJ Pegasus says, that's really a Tinder surprise as opposed to a Kinder.
10% commission if you use that idea. If you put pubes in you.
Yeah, I'm from now on. I'm going to be every single time. I'm going to be very carefully opening the surprise because I won't know if you've gotten to it first. Be like, he's on the other side of the world, but I believe he could do it.
Sorry, Rob, that isn't the answer you're after. But
it's an answer,
and
that's all I'm really here.
Don't we?
Really, I love a good story.
What was
you
the
made
question?
The question was, weirdly, what's the favourite thing you painted? So how we got there? Great question.
I've not painted much. I've taken it upon myself. I put a plead out to Twitter a couple of months ago for when the Gargants came out. I was after as many of the Johans as I could get as possible. You know, the chap that's running away on the base.
Yeah.
And I've been sent over 30 of them, which is fucking brilliant. I'm going to use them as a unit of flagellants in my Cities of Sigmar army.
Is that because they kill themselves? Like they die and they yeah?
Exactly. Well, no. Well, they do damage when they run away, when they break. So that's perfect, isn't it? But but each one I'm painting in a different club colour, different club colours, hopefully from all around the world. And so far I've got 5. I've got Marauders, Dragon Slayers. I've done the Honest Wargamer, Eat Bats of Sigmar, and then I recently did Just Play, which was the hardest one because it's got like green down here and then little white lines down here, really intricate, and then it's all black, and black's a horrible colour to try and paint well, isn't it? Yeah. I can go get them if you want to see them. They're nothing.
I don't think we'll be able to see them, but you're putting them up on Twitter, or is that not a thing right now?
Oh, they're on Twitter. Yeah, they're on Twitter. Yeah, you can see them there. But I've got Nigel, bless him. Nigel from the Marauders sent me a load of flagellants banners. So some of them have got banners on them as well. Like the Honest Wargamer, I managed to write THWG. Hey, that's the one. Boom.
There he is.
When I first tried to do the banner for the Honest Wargamer, I was really pleased with myself. I did the perfect T, the perfect H, and the perfect G, and then I realised I'd forgotten the fucking W. Fucking pissed off. It was late at night, and I was like,
It'd probably be easier just to rename the brand than fix that up.
It.
So
I'll just rebrand everything. Yeah, the Honest War. Wait, what did we miss out? The W. Yes, the Honest Gamer. Yeah. That's what it'll be now. Welcome to the Honest Gamer.
I suppose that works.
I like them. I like those. Especially, I enjoy you painting the shell suits from the Fascio gang.
I did the whole. It was all a shell suit. Hope I didn't offend.
Right. Okay. My next question is: so on the internet. Good, bad, like a Twitter thread that got away from you that was funny, or a nice, kind message, or something you've seen, or whatever it might be. Your favorite interaction on the internet, your favorite interaction with someone for whatever reason, or anything else. What's floated your boat?
Or this year?
Past 369 during lockdown, because obviously we've been mainly, like you said, trapped at home. Thank you to Henry Steele for donating £10 to the show. Henry, that's so lovely of you. Thank you. That is in no way related to the 18 different shout outs he's had today and the Cult of Paint as well. Thank you, Henry. That's very lovely of you. What a treasure. What a kind man. And just a very talented man. It's super annoying how gorgeous he is and talented. Those are all true. So interaction. Does that make sense? Like, tete-a-tete.
I've got one. So
apparently the £10 is for the pube story. I just wanted to
10% of that's mine, so you owe me £1.
Yeah, done.
Okay, fair. Yeah, cut him in.
Can't believe you backed down to 10% straight away.
Yeah. He cut him off, so you got to cut him in.
So my favourite bit of I spent about a good few months ago now, 6-7 months ago, I guess. Oh no, it might have been even longer. Last sort of summer. So we must have been about 3 or 4 months into lockdown. Alex discovers a lady that will allow you to rent goats for the day. So tell me about it. So I get home and I find there are 2 baby goats in my garden, and she's hired them for the day. She's actually going to go, she's fucked off. She's going to go back to see Harvey, her horse. So I'm left with 2 goats, 2 dogs, 2 rabbits, etc. And her thinking is she's hired them to mow the lawn. She's hoping that they'll eat the grass on the lawn. But apparently, so I put a couple of pictures on Twitter of these goats, and I get rightly informed that goats eat from up downwards. And the goats aren't eating our grass. They're just eating all of our fucking bushes. Absolutely terrorising them, destroying them. And then I spend the whole day just filming these goats and watching them like make meh noises and eat my bushes. And I just got loads and loads of messages from people that saying, we've been following this all day. You've brightened up our day, struggling in lockdown. Can we do this regularly? Can we send you money so you can hire more goats, or because you can hire pigs as well? There's even a fucking Shetland pony that she wants to get in my garden at some point. But that was just a really nice, fun day, and I think it brought a lot of joy to everyone's face watching my garden get destroyed by fucking, of all things, goats. Like, not something I expected.
something I learned from Joe and Noah Singh, if you guys know him, is that people competitively tunnel.
Competitively tunnel?
Yeah.
What?
There are competitive tunnels competitions.
What?
I'm gonna get Joe and Noah Singh on to discuss this. This is like a not for now conversation, I promise. But like, there's loads to unpack there. My friend Big Goldfish, who is a 360 driver, or I think that's right. But basically, a fellow who moves things around with big vehicles. You know what I'm saying? That sort of job. He's gonna start uploading just like nice holes he digs on Twitch, and I was like, weirdly, I'm into that. Like, I think, especially if he like prefixes it. He's like a bit of music, like fast-paced music, blah, 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 and he's like, I never thought I'd have to try and dig a hole 4 foot deep, but let's see if I manage to do it. And then like 20 minutes of the actual video, it's like, oh bloody hell, what a tough life! But it turns out I did it. I watched the shit out of that.
That's your content.
Yeah, so that is favourite interaction. Dan, what was yours?
Okay, so I've probably got two, and the first one's quick. It's generic, but it's pretty much any interaction that the Rage of Sigmar podcast guys have with anyone on Twitter. Just anything they do, say, think, feel, or just all of it. That's it for me. I could literally just sit there and like, as somebody who back when we had the time, and hopefully we'll get the time to do Soulbound and Down again. They're just spectacular, but just the stuff that comes out of their mouth. So for those who don't know what Soulbound is, it's like an RPG, and bless his cotton socks, Jacob Berry's character, decided that his Stormcast could tell a lot about Skaven by tasting their scat. And so then he would honestly just improvise, giving us information based on his character eating and tasting the poo of Skaven constantly. And I was like, I don't know how to
How
DM
much did he go into this? He doesn't have
a lot.
does he?
A lot.
A lot.
Like an unnecessary amount. Anyway, so anything that they do, I love to watch. However, my one piece of probably interaction and all of that and digital anything, and I have watched it on repeat many a time since, is watching Nathan clip the edges of his mushroom base. Just when he realized that it had to be 60 mil instead of 65. And then he measured the base of his mushroom and trimmed all of that back. That little clip video, I think, should do the rounds on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It should be everywhere because it's just
everything
glorious.
Nathan does should, though. To be fair,
That's very true. Very true.
Truly a flawless individual. I get giddy whenever I meet someone new, and they're like, oh, "Who are your mates?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you about my friends." Like, I can't wait. And they're like, "Wait, are you in love with him?" And I'm like, "Maybe." Like, do I mind? Answer no. Right. Okay. So then. So what was your favourite thing that has been released over the past year from Games Workshop, specifically? So your favourite thing that's been released in the past year. And that takes us really far back. It takes us basically to last March, so during the lockdown period.
I really like Glutos. Is it Glutos? Oscolion?
Yeah. Glutos Oscolion.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful model. I'd like to use it. I like that. I think he's better in every other army other than Slanesh, which makes me
fair.
I think that's. I don't like painting. I don't like modelling, but I think that is a model that I'll be getting at some point just to paint for the love of it. There's not much that inspires me to do that. You know, truth be told, I'm not a modeler. I'm not a painter.
What is it about it then? Like, what is it like about the model? Like obviously composition.
Well, yeah, it was just so well done, isn't it? Every part of it. There are halflings holding little like food up to him. He's pretty cool. The large snake at the back, you know. And I love. There's some really cool conversions people are doing, aren't they? Making them into K-Knight Cauldrons of Blood, where the snake's the avatar. I think, is it Velatron that's doing that or someone?
Yeah.
Jacob, the Rage of Sigmar chap.
Well,
he's the one that
I think it was Velatron first, actually, and then
Jacob suggested
second.
that. Yeah. Well, no, I think he suggested that the snake should be, and they're both very, they've got some wonderful ideas, and they're very accomplished converters, aren't they? So it's nice to have a model that inspires people like that, isn't it? And that's what that model's really done. It's inspired a lot of people.
Dan, what's yours?
Oh, it's a toughie. Like, I guess we've seen a lot, but there's also been some tame stuff too. I think I'm going to go with some of the Warcry releases. I think, like, just for really cool models. Like, I'll have to have a look, and I'll have to see if I can be more specific. But like, I was just going through, and I'm like, yeah, like there've been some cool army stuff released, and a bunch of really cool bits and pieces. But genuinely, when I think about it, I mean, Gotrek's not an option this year, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would 100% have my win.
Good man.
But I think that, yeah, I think I'm going to go with some of the Warcry stuff, because I know that they kind of separated people a little bit, but I dug the Scions of the Flame. I kind of like their vibe there. Not everyone did. That's totally fine. Some people are allowed to be wrong. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go the Ogroid Myrmidon. Sorry, when I look at it, I'm like, that's right. He was honestly one of my favorite models.
No, it can't be.
This year? It might not have been, actually.
That's the problem. You're thinking last year was 2019.
I know.
Last year disappeared.
I'm still in 2019. Yeah, that's it. Doesn't exist. But yeah, it's a toughie. I mean, I'm converting all of my Lumineth, and I don't mind their sword and shield stuff. There's all of their spear and board and their stock stuff, but none of their stuff grabbed me completely. That's why I'm making them all undead, because it's more satisfying that way. I don't know. I don't think I've got any ones that jump out at me as in, like, I saw the models and I was like, I must possess them this year. This year for me was more of a year of finding the cool, lost, old little bits and pieces and seeing what I could convert them together as.
Okay. I was super confused by that kangaroo elf. That is the one that it really took me back, and I had to look a couple of times and didn't really understand what was going on, or the world at that.
I hope we call them bangaroos, battle kangaroos. Bangaroos.
Well, I mean, the rules are going to be out this Saturday, which is actually genuinely exciting. 12 new War Scrolls and some updates. Also, the Broken Realm Technos books, there's some new Nurgle stuff. There's a swath of stuff. So, a very exciting weekend coming up.
Actually,
content.
Be'lakor is phenomenal, isn't he? Be'lakor's beautiful.
Actually, I think I've just had one that's jumped out that would be my absolute shebang-a-bang model. I think it was this year, this 365-day block. The Tyrant, the new Ogre Tyrant. Is that in this year?
No. That was more tribes. You have missed all of 2020, Dan. Like, you keep thinking last year was 2019.
It feels that way. Bless me. I'm too beautiful for this year. I'm not meant for it.
You are.
Well, then in that case, bugger you all. I'm going to live in the past, and you can come and hang out with me and Cyndi Lauper. It'll be great.
Well, there are no new Liberators released. You're a fan of Liberators, aren't you?
Aren't you, Dan? Aren't you a fan of Liberators?
I hate everyone.
What is that? Because everyone ribs you about it. I've got no fucking idea what's going on.
Do you want to tell him?
So I've been on the receiving end of just so much Liberator, like, pain trains at events, right? Like, I remember back when, I don't know if people remember, I think it was Age of Sigmar 1 or Age of Sigmar 2, when they could all drop down and deploy into combat like an inch away from everything and string out 30 Liberators, and after they've been buffed up, then they beat the bejesus out of you.
Oh yeah.
And then like all the shenanigans and bullshittery that they're capable of doing. And then the new fudging book came out, and they can storm keep redeploy before turn 1, and I can just come along and it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. It's like, oh hey, Liberators come along and they get to decide not to play the game. It's like, oh, there's all these rules, and they're like, yeah, but I don't like them, so I don't think I'm gonna do them. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Don't play the game either, to be fair. Like most.
Yeah, and that's right.
Armies that don't fucking want to play it anymore.
Yeah, but they do it before you can do anything a lot of the time. Like, I'm just like, it hurts me. It's stupid. They're a bullshit unit. The only reason that
this is why. Many tirades is why.
Anyway, They're a garbage unit, and they only get taken because they're the new hotness and something's broken, and so everyone buys 60 goddamn Liberators. They ruin everyone's day, and then they turn around and you don't see them again. And because all these people, I assume, just stick them straight up the soundproof compartment that they're currently sitting on, and then they're just in there for like another 6 months until a new book comes out, and they're like, let me squirt out some more broken Liberator shit. That's why I don't like them. That's why people tag me in them. And the thing is, Liberators are so generic, right? So generic that when people try to tag me in photos of them on Twitter, they tag me in goddamn like sequiturs. They don't even know what Liberators are.
That's great. Right, just right.
Damn it, you got me. You got me.
I can tell. Right. So, what do you think about? I know this is a bit like the highlight, but obviously, like, it's been a long year for a lot of people. Like, sometimes opportunity for self-reflection, sometimes not. Sometimes all sorts of things. What do you think you've learned most from the past year? I think Darren, you already touched on it a little bit. That you could be an adult and be at home, but like, is there anything else that you think you learned and have taken away from the past year?
I've learned to wash up as soon as I get up rather than wait.
Do you not do them the night before?
No, I don't. No, after I've eaten dinner, I blob. I am the vampire in Blade
Yeah.
in the library. That's what I like to do at the end of the evening. Glass of wine, big dinner, blob for the rest of the evening. But I got into a routine where I get up with Alex at 6, and then what I should do is wash up. But what I do is watch Netflix or do some hobby, or try and get a bit of coaching in. And then I have my alarm set at 9 o'clock to go and do the kitchen before she comes in, because I don't want to piss her off. Because if I don't piss her off, 9 times out of 10 she'll make a wonderful breakfast. But a lot of that, the alarm goes off, and then it's 9:25, and I'm panicking and I'm rushing round. And I had an epiphany the other day. I could just do it as soon as I got up, and I've been doing that. And that's pretty much me. My entire life has been putting off the important things that need to be done until the last minute and panicking. And I think I read the other day, or a friend mentioned it to me the other day, men don't really mature until they're 40. And that's probably the most mature I have ever acted off my own back, without sort of realising it.
So I've got a couple more years to just dick around. Oh, I thought I was going to have to sort my shit out this year. Oh, fucking swing. Let's get ready.
But it was quite big. It was quite a big deal for me. I got up. I washed up. I was in the kitchen getting ready to spaff off the next couple of hours, probably masturbating to Netflix. But I actually went and did the washing up, which gave me plenty of time to masturbate. No, it didn't. But Alex came in. She was really pleased. I hadn't run about, and I'd had a shower, and the place was all tidy, and I'd done everything that I needed to do. And that's how I want to live my life. And I think I can, hopefully something's shifted in me. So that's the nicest thing that I've learned.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. It really is. Dan, what about you?
I've learnt that I am really bad without structure and discipline. But when I have it, I'm good. So I think it's similar to yourself. I need to discipline myself and be like, okay, you get up, you do this. Because if I don't, inside of like an hour, I'm like, well, that's the day gone. Like I'm achieving nothing.
That
the flip side. Yeah.
Whole days go, don't they?
Yeah, you're like, oh, what happened? I also realized that I can drink an obscene amount and still be okay the next day.
You're Australian though, aren't you? That's
a
given.
Yeah, but it was like that was just tested today. And I've acclimatized to the cold better. That was a big one. My first year here, I barely survived the winter. I had to make so many friends, and then they disappeared, and the authorities are still looking for them because I took a leaf out of Han Solo's book and just cut them down the middle and slept inside them for warmth. And so now I'm actually a lot better at dealing with the chill and the cold. So I'll be ready for like a Crim Bobo or something where I come over and it's chilly. I'll be braced.
Nice. Really vibing on that. That's going to be lovely. Right, I just want to do a couple of things. I want to say hello to loads of people who've turned up in the chat, like Mr. Ho, Johnny Derp. I want to thank General Beef for resubscribing and everyone for tuning in. whatever time, if you've just tuned in or have been here all day, which is lovely. We're just into the last section with these two lovely fellas now, and then we'll be talking to Neil and Tom. Thank you to Destruction John.
Oh my god,
Destruct
the
John.
entire Destruction sub-faction has subscribed. That's amazing. Now all we need is Chaos, Order, and the other one, whatever they're called.
So there's someone who has a Twitter account and also a Twitch channel, Archeon the Three-Eyed King. And what really makes me laugh is sometimes he's just like making really relevant points in the chat, and I'm like, thanks, Archeon the Three-Eyed King. That's actually a really adroit point. And sometimes he's like, no one's killing me. I'm impervious to pain. My final question before you two unfortunately have to go is there anything else out there, like content or stuff that you enjoy absorbing? Anyone you want to give a shout out to? You think like some good stuff that you've seen, or just someone just any of that, anything like that you want to shout out, so you guys can it's your opportunity to do so. This is where we're at now. Got anything?
I don't consume a lot of. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, and I don't read a lot. And I think that's bizarre, isn't it? Really, because I'm on a podcast once a month. I always feel like I'm cheating the system. I'm being disingenuous. But it's just not something. I don't like listening to things. I like watching things, right? So the only one that I do bother really watching is you, Rob.
Oh, thanks.
And it's because it's genuinely fun. You know, it's fun being on your show, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's fun watching your show. No one's perfect, so don't take that to heart. Not that I've never.
I have imposter syndrome like almost every day. Like when I go on a YouTube video and I'm like, oh, like could like a few more of you not watch, or or whatever it might be. Like I don't think I am. Well, I think one of the things someone asked me about this the other day. I don't want to make this about me, but just quickly, is that like I love what this is. I love what the Stream Streak has become, and I love the Monday show and I love the Thursday show. But in no way do I think that that's like full-time value forever. Like the live coverage, the Super Series stuff, like the going to a tournaments and improving that's the hard graft, and the stuff I also super enjoy, and that's why like we set the TSN up. Like it's meant to be, this is just like you can come on and tell dick jokes, like Dan can go on like really long drunk rants, like all of that, and I never want that to change. That's like my vibe, but I also would like to do like that professional like front-ended stuff, which is the TSN, which I think is also really valuable for the community as well, because there'll be people who are kind of like, I can't be arsed with your sense of humour, Rob, and I'm like, me either. Right, so I'm hoping that works.
Being part of that, being on the first ever Super Series live broadcast, I've got to say, that was some of the most fun I've ever had at an event, with the team, the Bruces, with Rick, Chris and Andy, against Adam and his mates. It was just, who was it? James, Ethan, Dan, and Adam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Some of the chat. But that was just such a fucking great day. And people, it's such a shame that that's one of the great shames of COVID, right? That it really fucked that up. But when that comes back, people are gonna. We've been starved of fucking playing games for a year. When that comes back, and I imagine you're gonna be straight. You'll be shit on that, won't you? You'll be straight on there. It's going to fucking explode. People are going to love it. I cannot wait. It's such a good format. People that go to it are going to have so much fun. That's going to come across, and you'll get the opportunity to do that, and you'll take that very, very far. I'm 100% sure of it. And you're the right man to do it because you're so fucking good at it.
Yeah, I just got to keep my fucking mouth shut some days. That's a lesson to learn, and that's fine. We all know.
You're getting there though, aren't you? I think.
I'm 2020 Rob, baby. 2020 Rob.
Yeah, no,
you can't stop him.
The man that I first knew.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, I guess. Right, I gotta go. You're both lovely. Oh, Dan, did you have a shout out for anything? Sorry.
I was probably going to shout out the TSN because I really want the Super Series to come up, and that was more just like a plug, being like, let's get the TSN going.
Oh man, it's going to be good though. I can't wait for the drama and the hot goss. Also, just quickly for you two, we are going to be organising the Honest Wargamer hosts invitational only TTS tournament. Best Honest Wargamer Age of Sigmar host, Tawny.
Yeah.
best get fucking ready. Owen Jackson.
Darren's Diaries counts, doesn't it?
It does. Owen Jackson said he's going to beat us all already. He already
Kinda
smack
fucked you
talked
up.
all of us. Yeah. Oh shit! It's on. Right. You two are lovely. We're going to take a small break now. And I'm going to come back with Neil and Tom. Neil and Tom are going to be discussing the WTC pairings this week for a Greek Hammer TTS tournament, which is going to be really cool, super techy, but we'll try and make it as fun as possible. Darren and Dan, thank you so much for both being wonderful people and also great
Our
players of the
pleasure.
tournament. I'll see you both soon. I'm joining you again in like 5 or 6 minutes. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Untitled Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. It's the start of a very exciting series of videos. It's the streak. It's the best streak in the world. Hello to everyone who's joining us live, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. I'm in the studio on my own, but that doesn't mean I'm alone. I'm going to try and do this every day, 7 days a week, until confinement is over. If you want to watch more stupid stuff, keep tuning into the show. And it's time for the Hunker in the Bunker Day 8. Oh, easy. Not even difficult. Can't wait for day 80. Dude, our day is in day 2 of 84. Just realizing that I might be doing a daily show for 84 days in a row is a bit. I've just seen the long future for me, and that's fun.
You got to give the people
what they want.
So it's
I'm on it.
It's a grey kind of flecky option today with a Nike trainer. Yeah, that's what I'm rocking today. I have got them pulled up as far as they go.
That's what I do. Why wouldn't you ever do that?
At what point do you just pull all the leather out, smack some war paint on, and start hunting for gasoline?
Well,
I reckon it's up to Nathan.
The line art and then put up high quality versions of them so that people can print them off for their little ones or for themselves, just colour in and keep themselves busy.
If you join the chat, you are one of the hashtag Grok Gang.
I'll get to all that. I got to get through the housekeeping first. So Bud Kaler, a.k.a. Budtastic Guy's appearance on The Honest Wargamer is brought to you in part by the Budtastic Group of Companies, a subsidiary of the Rage of Sigmar media conglomerate.
Anyway.
It's all coming out now.
A whole bunch of people are like, and time to turn this one off today. This is only Stream Street Day 3. I can't wait to be like fucking Alex Jones in it, Stream Street Day 27. She's marinating a brisket.
Yeah, so she's slow cooking a brisket, and it smells so nice.
I didn't know that's what people called it for their birthdays, but if that's what you guys call it.
Now, this isn't DIY. Can you see?
You got to be a bit higher.
Oh, there he is. Oh, bless. Oh, actually, I can.
He's got a wheel. Darren, he's got a wheel.
I know, poor Malbec. But I keep getting woken up by really painful erections.
When I was a young boy.
I'm going to do a little Rob Ostin. It's going to do a little show here. Top 3 bad Batman movies.
Well, number 1 would have to be.
Well, interestingly, the question was, how do you both feel about the Gargants? And the answer is massive erections.
Because I'm doing kind of unit by unit rather than kind of getting distracted. Oh, that was.
Oh my God, John! What's cracking? It's been an interesting week, eh?
Why? What happened?
The FAQ.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. The
Yeah,
FAQ.
that was cool.
I thought you meant the armed insurrection in the United States of America. My bad.
No, I'm not wearing a leather jacket that's got speckles on it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're more than 100 points, then that's too much, to be honest.
Okay. Well, there are 140 points.
That's too much, then, to be honest.
All of 2 people. It's a bit like the Legion of Asgore group, right?
Hey, we're a thriving community. If anyone wants to just clip this clip right now, 100% Age of Sigmar 3, whenever that rolls around, 100% is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be that, that board specification. You, Pete Pratt, I see you're still in bed, and that's after organising a Age of Sigmar event yesterday, a socially distanced one in Northern Ireland. I see that Archie still didn't win anything. You don't know Archie Dayton, but you'd like him a lot. He is, he's a trier. Like Croak, who hasn't changed fucking points, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. What the fuck is that? And I love it because he's my favourite model. And if we can all do it, let's just fucking do it. Hey, you buy a Croak, I'll buy a Croak. We'll all just fucking use Croak, and it'll be the best year of our lives.
But you can't because he's sold out.
Innes Wilson, you won't be able to do it because they both look like a thumb. Greetings from the homeschooling world, Vengeance from Sylvania. I'm pretty sure my kid's reception teacher was sent by Sinesh to distract me from providing world-class homeschooling. Wow. Wow, loads to unpack there. Thank you so much. It's because we always do it live. You work to your skills, right? You can't prep, so you do live. Find a list of... Oh my god. No one tell Vince I said this. I would like to see a group of generic artifacts that people could choose from. Again, no one tell Vince I said that. Let me just check my calendar. Yes. I'm free.
Hold on. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Nick, you brought up a really interesting point before the start of the show, actually, which I thought we could talk about.
Yeah, I'm an interesting person.
It used to be a 65? Are you sure your base isn't a 65 mil base?
Oh, I've found a tape measure. Yes. Oh, I knew I had one.
A builder that had to find a tape measure.
Yeah, they always have to find one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is a 65. That's the one I came with. So I've got to change the space.
You've got to change it to a 65.
Oh.
Who also made a Sex for Seniors video. Really good watch.
Nerfed.
Fuck those guys.
Uh-huh.
Fucking cutting my base down now.
Do that, and I shall take the girls to the ball. But there's no balls and no girls, so don't clip that. Oh, yeah, and Wahapedia, sorry, the one-man show, says he will have everything updated for 9th by next weekend at the latest. There you go, which is a searchable database. A searchable database of the information, which isn't a long list of shit.
Games Workshop said they'll have a quick reference guide in their app.
Let's talk. But when we're just having a chat, I end up getting a bit handsy if I don't do something. It's kind of weird. You're like, oh, is it going to be okay having someone you've never really spoken to? But Tristan was upbeat, fun, enthusiastic, and Selena was powerfully kind. Big thing for the mental health. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Reach new bounds. See how many times you can do it in one day. 15. Yeah, who knew?
You do get the Flinger missile. Now, it's a lot like a Mortek crawler in some ways.
You're only allowed to bring gits, and you've got to narrative the shit out of it and just be wild off your brain on cider or mushrooms all weekend or both.
And we'll all just have another croak. And maybe they'll just make more croaks. You don't even know. Just fucking loads of croaks. Everywhere.
Maybe he'll not be unique anymore.
Having a catchphrase which is stay hydrated, which makes you need to pee for the last hour and a half of the show. So
okay, wait. So we need to drag this out so that Ron can't go.
There is actually another Cities of Sigmar.
I know. I don't give a fuck. If you want to know what it is, go read the book yourself, you lazy shits. Thank you for listening to the Honest Wargamer. Have a great day.